Oh damn. Haven't done this since March of 2022. Oh boy. Remember when I'd make like a review after 3 books and go for an in-depth analysis and review of each one? And then I started falling behind and had to do like 8 or 10? Yeah, no, I'm not reviewing 24 plus books in this episode just to try and catch up. Instead, I'll be reviewing books I feel like reviewing and that people should know about. Whether it's negative or positive. So in this episode, I will be reviewing A Good Girl's Guide to Murder trilogy by Holly Jackson, Top 10 by Katie Cotugno, Don't Hate the Player by Alexis Nedd, The House Across the Lake by Riley Sager, or Sager, don't know, and The Last Invitation by Darby Kane. With, of course, an honorable mention at the end as well. So let's get into the first book, well, books, which I'll be compacting into one review instead of doing each one separately. A Good Girl's Guide to Murder. Just let me start off by saying I struggle with paranoia, diagnosed, along with panic attacks and a few other things. And oh my god. I was sitting and listening to the series, fucking shaking. I did want to stop once I got home because I'd listen to audiobooks during my walks, because the books were so damn good. But at the same time, I was terrified the entire time as well due to how amazing the writing is. And my paranoia is so bad to the point where I get hallucinations. So I'd go out for walks at night or find that the streets around me were suddenly empty. So when I'd go out for walks at night or find that the streets around me were suddenly empty, I would see some shit, man. Shit that I am not going to go into, but honestly, not gonna lie, I love the voice for Robbie. 10 out of 10. Now for the rating. It's fucking phenomenal. As mentioned earlier, I was unable to even stop, or only doing so once my earbuds died or I was on the brink of screaming due to sheer fear. The ending of the last novel was especially great. Granted, I do think some parts were a little rushed to get to the point, especially when reviewing the antagonist of book 2. I'd still say it was an enjoyable listen. I give the series a 10 out of 10. Just be careful if you're like me and have a few things wrong with you. But before I move on to the next book, I'd just like to say, Miss Jackson, why did you do it? You know what I'm talking about. Who hurt you? That poor animal was part of the family. Hell, I would have accepted killing Robbie before the poor lovable creature. I love your books and your writing, but shame on you. Now then, on to Top 10 by Katie Cotugno. Don't purchase it. It's terrible. It was such a boring read and was honestly just so fucking toxic and glorified cheating, and it was honestly just horrible. Now, don't get me wrong, I like Katie Cotugno books. 99 Days is what got me into romance. Sure, it had cheating in it, but it wasn't as bad as this. At least 99 Days had more drama and was actually interesting. Top 10 was just so bad. So non-linear, so all over the place that you couldn't even develop a connection with the characters. It was just, I give it a 2 out of 10. 2 for the portions that were actually decent and interesting and somewhat healthy. Now, Don't Hate the Player by Alexis Nedd. Not gonna lie, it was pretty damn boring at the start. However, as I was getting more into it and shit started to amp up, it all started becoming extremely interesting. I could not stand the main character's boyfriend. He was a massive idiot, but at the same time he really tried to be a good partner by getting his girlfriend matcha drinks and ice cream. Though he never asked if she even liked matcha. But at the same time, she never communicated and told him how she felt. until it's too late, of course. That's why I like this book so much, because one of the bad guys wasn't actually all that bad. Though he was still a pretty big dick, understandable dick, but dick nonetheless. And the main character had a lot of flaws as well, such as being bad at communicating, not willing to speak up for herself, dumbing herself down to make others like her, and so much more. She truly is a flawed character, which means she is a perfectly written human being as well. So to the author, you are so talented, and you have truly grasped what being a human and what they're truly like is truly like. Keep up the good work, just please make your chapters shorter. Myself, among probably the majority of the reading population, cannot stand long chapters. I know. When I published Death Chill, I had chapters that were over 50 pages long. But hey, I was 14, okay? I didn't even like reading them when editing, but I still did it because I didn't want to mess up the formatting by cutting them into 5 more chapters after I'd already finished formatting basically everything else. So for Don't Hate the Player, I give it an 8 out of 10. I think it'd make an amazing movie or animated series. Next, The House Across the Lake by Riley Sager, however it's pronounced. This was the sort of story where it's like a roller coaster of interesting and boring, but in the end I liked how everyone was basically bad. I also like how the author tossed some paranormal in there. It was a nice touch. And the twists were amazing, well fleshed out as well. All around, talented, amazing writing style, and the creativity is top notch. 8 out of 10 due to the bits and pieces that were still a little boring. Finally, The Last Invitation by Darby Kane. Now, this one definitely didn't give me hallucinations like her Pretty Little Wife book. It was still all around interesting, and I love the representation and behind the scenes of women in such large and complicated careers. And let me tell you, the ending. Ooh-wee! The ending legit made me jump. Typically when I'm reading thrillers, I always suspect everyone. If the author mentions a damn baby in a stroller, I'm suspecting that son of a bitch of murder. I don't care. But oh god, I saw the build up to the revelation and I loved it. Honestly, absolutely fire. Darby Kane continues to impress. 9 out of 10. Some portions were pretty long, but they were easy to get through. And now, thank you all for listening, but it is time for our honorable mention. Practice Makes Perfect by Sarah Adams. I listened to this audiobook every day when I'd go on another walk after I get home from school, to which my dad would call me crazy for doing instead of just laying in bed and relaxing, but I enjoyed it. I loved the romance that went throughout the story. I liked how the miscommunication and jealousy wasn't being taken to a level of toxicity and being glorified, and was instead the level of miscommunication jealousy a person has when they have thoughts, feelings, worries, and desires. I loved how all the characters were fleshed out, felt like there could have been more of the brother interacting with the sister's love interest, but oh well, it was still fantastic. 9 out of 10, I highly recommend you guys read it. And well, there's a little nice update on the fraction of books I had read/listened to over the past 2 years. Granted, all of these were just from 2023, but 2023 is still part of the last 2 years. Check out my novels on Amazon and Kobo, link in description. Check out Creative Writing Club Premium on Patreon and Spotify, link in description. Check out Quill and Scroll Stash in the description. Check out Creative Writing Club Discord server in the description. Check out my personal Instagram at dark_night_wolves. And let's all get back to reading, writing, and podcasting. Have a great day.